Okay, hello everybody. This is the part 2 of our discussion of organizing. So we stopped here. So next slide na tayo. We're going to discuss the third element of organizational design, which is chain of command. So class, the chain of command is the continuous line of authority that extends from the upper organizational levels to the lowest levels and clarifies who reports to whom and whom. Okay, so the three related concepts include authority, responsibility, and unity of command. Okay, I think most of this were discussed during the first discussion or during the discussion of introduction, wherein we have discussed the different principles of management by Henry Fayol. Okay, so let us define these terms. Okay, number one is authority. Authority is the rights inherent in a managerial position to tell people what to do and expect them to do it. This one, siguro it's just all about verbalizing the definition. It's because we have been hearing this all the time. Ngayon, meron kang authority over that. So, ibig sabihin, your authority, it relies on your position na you have the power to, kumbaga parang mag-utos. Okay? So, or hindi lang mag-utos, pero uh, something that you can direct them. Okay, it's because you have higher position than them. Okay. So in the organizational structure, syempre, the higher, di ba, kung mas mataas, sige, let's check the example. Okay, for example, balikan natin. Yan, parang na tayo nag-review, no? Okay, let us take a look at this organizational structure. For example, ito si these three persons, okay, they are reporting to the person that is on top of them sa organizational structure. So, and for the instance, this person na nag-handle ng tatlong ito is reporting to this person. So, ibig sabihin, this person has authority over this person sa baba niya, okay, especially this person that is immediately below him or her. But it is understood that the higher your position in the organizational structure, the higher or the greater your authority. Okay, so I hope you get that. Okay, so balik tayo dito. Yan, so kumusta naman kayo? Okay, ayan. So, let us continue our discussion. Okay, the next term that we should define is responsibility. Responsibility is the obligation of expectation to perform or expectation to perform. So, responsibility brings with it accountability, which is which is the need to report and justify work to a manager's superiors. Okay. So next is your unity of command. Of course, recalling our discussion, unity of command is the classical principle that a subordinate should have only one superior. Tama, isa lang dapat yung boss niya. Okay? Bakit? Because managers have limited time and knowledge, they may choose to delegate some of their responsibilities. Okay. So, under the unity of command, bakit nga ba kailangan ng delegation o bakit nga ba kailangan yung delegation? It's because delegation is the assignment of authority to another person to carry out specific duties, allowing employees to make some of the decisions. So, pumapasok na dito ang concept of empowerment, ganyan. Okay. Another topic here under the chain of command is line and staff authority. So the line managers class are responsible for the essential activities of the organization, including production and sales. So line managers have the authority to issue orders to those in the chain of command. So usually, sorry, ang staff managers class are usually the president, the production manager, the sales manager, ganyan. And of course, the staff managers have advisory authority and can issue orders to those in the chain command except in those in their own department. So line managers, maybe syempre yung ating mga top managers or middle managers, itong staff managers are usually our first line managers. Or ito yung mga lower than line managers kasi parang line managers yan eh, lower than first line managers. Okay, but they are still handling their staff or their own department. Okay, the fourth element of organizational structure is the span of control. So the span of control is the number of employees who can be effectively and efficiently supervised by a manager. So the concept of span control refers to the number of subordinates a manager can supervise effectively and efficiently. So the span of control class is important because it determines how many levels and managers an organization will have. So what determines the ideal span of control? Okay, it can be affected by skills and abilities, characteristics of the work being done, similarity of tasks, similarity of complexity of tasks, personal proximity of subordinates, um, standardization of tasks, sophistication of organizations, MIS or information system, strengths over the organizational structure, and preferred style uh, of the manager. Okay. The trend in recent years has been toward larger spans of control. Ibig sabihin, mas marami kang subordinates. Okay. So the fifth element of organizational design is centralization versus decentralization. I remember during the first discussion of introduction to management, I think I have let you differentiated this one. Okay, so ang centralization class is addresses who, where, and how decisions are made in the organization. So usually centralization is the degree to which decision making is concentrated at a single point in the organization, usually in the upper level of the organization. Okay, simply, class, when we say that an organization is greatly centralized, ibig sabihin all the decisions come from the top level management. Okay. Ay centralized lahat. Ibig sabihin, parang kaya siya centralized, parang may isa lang talaga na nagde-distribute ng information, ng decisions sa different hubs or different departments. Okay, may isa lang gumagawa ng decision. So, ang decentralization naman is the handing down of decision-making authority to lower levels in an organization. So, sabi ko nga kanina, this is more on the empowerment. So, it increases the decision-making discretion of our employees. Okay, so the trend now, if you would ask me, is decentralization decision-making to make organizations more flexible and responsive. So, centralization is more on top-down approach, and decentralization is more on the bottom-up approach, as I've discussed last time. So, employee empowerment is another term for increased decentralization, is the increasing decision-making discretion for employees. Employee empowerment for me is all about handling, kumbaga, you have the power, kaya nga siya empowerment, you have the power to make decisions, to incorporate creativity nung wala kang sinusunod because, syempre, you have your own ideas as well. So, a number of factors will influence the amount of decentralization or centralization. As here, okay, factors that influence the amount of centralization. More centralization is applicable to environment that is stable. Okay, lower level managers are not as capable of experience, so kailangan yung higher level managers lang. Okay, or the decisions are significant, mas maganda ang centralization. But this one is yun nga yung friend. Centralization is where the environment is complex or uncertain. Kaya, Kumbaga, ang decentralization class is, kung wala yung isa, marami pa rin pwedeng gumawa ng decision. So, lower level managers are capable and experienced in making decisions. They want a voice in decisions. Decisions are relatively minor. Okay. And the last one element of organizational design is formalization. So it's the degree to which jobs within the organization are standardized and the extent which employee behavior is guided by rules and procedures. So what happens in a highly formalized organization? So in a highly formalized organization class, employees have high discretion. High discretion means parang you have no or less power to make decisions. You have no option, parang ganyan. And there's a high level of consistent and uniform output. Formalized organizations have explicit job descriptions, lots of rules, and clearly defined procedures. However, in less formalized organization, employees have a lot of freedom and can exercise discretion in the way they do their work. So, pag less formalized, more empowerment. Okay, so parang as you can see, magkaka-connect sila. So standardization not only eliminates the possibility the employees will engage in alternate behaviors, it removes the need for employees to consider alternatives. So, syempre, nag-vary pa rin ang degree of formalization. Okay? The next subtopic here is all about the organizational decisions. I think this is the shortest subtopic. It's because dalawa lang naman sila. We have two, the mechanistic organization and the organic organization. So, first, let me define what is mechanistic organization. It is an organizational structure that is characterized by high specialization, rigid departmentalization, uh, narrow spans of control, high formalization, and limited information network and little participation in decision-making levels by low-level employees. As you can see, you cannot understand the definition of mechanistic if you did not understand the definitions earlier of the elements of organizational design. So if you did not understand the six elements, you may go back anytime. Okay, so what is the difference between uh, mechanic and organic? So ang organic naman is a structure, it is a structure that's highly adaptive and flexible with little work specialization, minimal formalization, and little supervision of employees. So when is each design favored? That depends on different contingency variables. So, i-discuss naman natin after nito. But first, sa previous video, wala akong pa-bonus. Pero this one, let me know, alin kaya sa dalawang ito ang highly favorable in this pandemic? So, which is suitable for an organization under the pandemic? Is it mechanistic and organic? And why? Okay, so pipili ako later on dyan ng best na sagot. Okay, so what are the structural contingency factors? So structural decisions are influenced by the following. So number one na dyan is strategy and structure. Okay, so strategy and structure is one of the contingency variables that influences organization, null design, and its organization strategy. Okay. Bonus number 2, meron agad tayo. Ang nakasulat dito, class, is that organization structure follows a strategy. Okay, gets? So now, our bonus number 2 is that you should debate or choose, take aside whether A, organizational structure follows strategy, or number 2, the strategy follows organizational structure. Okay, so pipili ako ng dalawa sa inyo na magkakaroon din ng bonus points. Number 1, kung sino ang best na makakapag-defend sa akin. Why organizational strategy follows structure, And yung second is who can define to me is strategy follows organization structure. Okay. So it can also be influenced by size of the organization. So, although sabi dito, there is considerable historical evidence that an organization's size significantly affects its structure. Larger organizations tend to have more specialization, syempre, more departmentalization, more centralization, and formalization, although the size structure relationship is not linear. Okay, next, technology can also affect the structural decision, whether you are organic or mechanistic. Okay, of course, in this era of technological, kumbaga technological advancement, ganyan, technology has always been shown to affect an organization's choice of structure. Since every organization uses form of technology to transform inputs into outputs. Okay? And of course, kasama rin dyan, mamukha ko ba yan? Or mamukha mo matanda? Of course, we can also say that the degree of environmental uncertainty influence the structural decisions of the organization. So dynamic environments require organic structures. Mechanistic structures need stable environments. Okay? So, I think isa yan sa mga na-discuss advantages and disadvantages. Okay. The structural contingency factors, okay, continued is actually the strategy frameworks, which is discussed earlier na nakaka-apekto ang strategy. We can discuss innovation, which is pursuing advantage through meaningful and unique innovations favors an organic structuring. Okay. Pag greater or mas meaningful or mas unique or greater innovation, it pursues organic structuring because it's more flexible. Okay. So, when you want to minimize cost or really control cost, which is most suitable, organic or mechanistic. Okay, it is written here that when you are controlling cost or kailangan mo minimize yung cost, it's usually mechanistic kasi less flexible, meron ka lang susundan. Ganyan. At it prevents you from having unexpected costs. And of course, when you are minimizing risk and maximizing profitability by copying market leaders, ano naman ang requirement mo? Is it organic or mechanistic? It can be both. Okay. So strategy and structure. Okay. Achievement of the strategic goals is facilitated by changes in organizational structure that accommodate and support change. So, yan. Ang size and structure naman is yun nga, as an organization grows larger, its structure tends to change from organic to mechanistic with increased specialization, departmentalization, and rules and regulations. Okay, in technology and structure, although na-discuss ko na very like kanina, organizations adapt their structures to their technology. When you have a routine technology or paulit-ulit or routine or repetitive, you should use mechanistic organization. But if you have non-routine technology, you can use organic organizations. Okay. So, I think merong mga studies na nagpapakita dyan. Okay, but please read it in your book. Okay, so all about technology. Yes, I think ikakat ko ulit here yung ating discussion para hindi masyadong ang mahaba. Okay, I'll see you in part 3 of my discussion. Okay.